With nearly 2 days now to decompress after the Bristol Night Race, I think there's a lot of things that we can actually look at and take from it. So I want to go over 7 questions, or at least topics, that we can take from the 2025 Bristol Night Race. Let's jump on into it. The first question is, does Goodyear now have enough data to really bail out Bristol and NASCAR in general? What we saw in this race was very similar to last spring in 2024, where Bristol just basically ate up tires. Some compared it to the 2008 Brickyard 400, and while I don't think it was nearly that bad, it definitely was not the traditional wear out of a tire. But with how bad short track racing and Bristol especially have been, I don't think any of us really that are rationally thinking about it are that upset that at least it wasn't that. With it though, what we pretty much know is this: the temperature is very, very important with this, and the car still sucks. I know we're very positive, and I think this is a positive moment, but the car is the problem. And at this point, does it have to be within a 10-degree range for there to be any sort of good racing, or at least variable of racing at Bristol? That is the big question that I think moving forward needs to be answered, not only by Goodyear, but also by NASCAR and SMI. Second, is Alex Bowman on the hot seat? Now, I don't think Alex Bowman is the sole reason, or even one of the primary reasons, the 48 team was eliminated from the NASCAR playoffs this year. That team, in all aspects, completely dropped the ball. But with that being said, Alex Bowman has been behind his 3 superstar teammates. Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott are champions, and even in their bad years are way ahead of the 48. And when you add on top of that William Byron is statistically one of the best in this next-gen era, it is really hard to justify the 48 continuing to struggle to even get a win a year. And at this point, too, you have to also bring up, whether it be the crew chief, whether it be the crew, whether it be the driver, it is inexcusable for a Hendrick Motorsports team to get bounced in the first round. Just like it's inexcusable for Team Penske to be bounced in the first round, or for Joe Gibbs Racing to be bounced or not even make it. I have the same outlook on Alex Bowman as I do most years on Austin Cindric and Ty Gibbs. And while Bowman has been better than them, he has not hit the potential that Hendrick Motorsports should reach. The third question I have is, how far is SVG away from actually competing? Now listen, he is arguably the best road course racer NASCAR has ever seen. His dominance is unmatched by anyone in NASCAR history at this form of racing, and it should be respected in a large amount. But I think anyone thinking that SVG was going to compete and make it to the second round heading in, especially after how close we saw the reset and how close he was to the cut line heading into Darlington, I think was delusional. It was delusional to think that Shane Van Gisbergen was all of a sudden going to turn into a consistent top 15 driver at ovals where he struggled all year. And that's not something that I think is a big detriment to him right now in the short term. We all knew why he was brought in, and he did and accomplished just what he was supposed to. With that being said, if he is going to be a full-time driver in the NASCAR Cup Series long-term, he's going to need to justify being in the playoffs and winning all these races with some oval success. And I've seen a lot of people who have come in as fans watching specifically for Shane Van Gisbergen who say, who cares about the ovals? Well, newsflash, this series is primarily ovals. And yeah, a super speedway top 10 here and there would be nice, but there needs to be some real success on a Kansas, on a Gateway, on a Darlington, on a Bristol. There needs to be those kind of races where he's going to go up and actually run in the top 10 and finish there. Because if he's able to supplement those 4 or 5 road course wins a year with top 5s and top 10s at ovals, even half of them, he could be a real championship contender depending on any format they really have. So how far away is SVG? Now, in the middle point here, I got to ask, is old Bristol back? Well, I don't think it's necessarily back because of what we talked about earlier with the tires and the temperature and all of that. But I will say this race was definitely closer to Old Bristol than 2024 spring race was. In my opinion, it actually was very reminiscent to it, whether people want to admit it or not. They were glued to the bottom. You had to move people out of the way to get there. And while the tires wore way more than they used to, that still was a factor back in the day. A lot of people rolled their eyes at the carnage, but that was part of the allure of Bristol back in the day. Most races did not have a ton of carnage, did not have a ton of restarts and overtimes and everything like that as much as we have today. And Bristol, because of that, broke up a lot of what was seen at the time as the monotony. In my opinion, yeah, this is Old Bristol. Is it back or is it just coming as a tourist? We'll find out. At the moment, I would say probably a tourist more than anything else, as temperature is so fickle when it comes to the tires. But this is Old Bristol. Like it or leave it. Next question is one simple one. Is this JGR's championship to lose? And in my opinion, yeah, it is. JGR is playing for keeps. And in the first round, that team as a whole looked neck, head, shoulders, everything else above the rest of the competition. While Team Penske has been really good at Phoenix, they got to get there first. And outside of Ryan Blaney, they don't have that kind of speed. Hendrick has been a little bit better, but they are not at the level right now of JGR, who swept the first round. Chase Briscoe at Darlington, Denny at Gateway, and Christopher Bell winning this race at Bristol. And while Christopher Bell did not dominate this race, his teammates did, especially Ty Gibbs. The outlier, who's not even competing for a championship, led 201 laps, and they led 343 of the 500 laps in this race. And this is just the first round with shorter ovals. They've shown speed everywhere, and I think that, and while I think they could definitely lose it because this is definitely a crapshoot format, they are the ones that if they make it, I'm putting my money on. Sticking with the Toyota drivers, what can we make of Corey Heim's 6th place finish? It was impressive, and while he didn't run in the top 10 all night, he kept it on the lead lap for much of the night. And that's what you have to do to succeed at Bristol and other short tracks. Stay on the lead lap, stay in contention, and make it to the end. And a 6th place finish in the Bristol Night Race with all of the variables is impressive for Heim. He's been amazing in lights out and trucks. He's overaccomplished in the equipment that he's basically not been given with the JGR side and given in Xfinity. And in my opinion, what you can take out of it is that there is some serious upside with Heim that is way above just the pay grade of a NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series driver. And lastly, are NASCAR fans happy? Did we get what we want or are we upset? I saw a lot of people who were very happy with this. But on the other end, I saw a lot of people complaining about people complaining. And while there's been some that I've seen that are upset, and I think some do bring up some valid concerns, I think people need to realize that the stuff you see on X or YouTube comments or on Reddit, a lot of that is the vocal minority. The majority of the fans that liked it aren't going to go out and complain or going to go out and scream how much they liked it. They're going to enjoy it and then keep on going. In my opinion, NASCAR fans like this right now. It could change, but I would not take the negativity as harshly as a lot of people are at this point. This is a race that brought a lot of people together. I think we should just remember it more for that. So there I have it. Now I want to pass it to you. With 7 weeks left in the season, what are some questions you still have after Bristol? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're at it, leave a like on this video, share this video, and subscribe to this channel for more great and fun NASCAR content. Thank you so much to all my channel members for your continued support. And until next time, have a good one.